Okay, guys, welcome to another guide. Today we're gonna discuss the stuff that a lot of guys was asking me actually when we were playing together. What I'm using on my NG, or we can call it scrapper, whatever. What am I using that I've got so high DPS and I got so good movement and I pretty decent and it's good all around build and still good on the clouding, still good in the terms of zergs, still good on the terms of roaming. But what you are using, man? There was actually a lot of questions of that because a lot of guys see me on this and they actually know that I'm playing the Revenant as my main character. This is my secondary. I'm playing that time to time when I'm not getting bored, but I want something different. And this is my build that I actually play a lot because it's like the build that I'm using I think 90% of my time. And this is the scrapper build. Today we're gonna start with the equipment that we need. So everything is around the Marauder. You can go with Marauder 6 pieces and 6 pieces from the Demolisher or Berserker, depends. You should be sitting around 20k. Actually, it's good for either zerging or whatever you gonna do. It's really good and decent on the amount of the NG. As the runes, you should go Scholar. Actually, they are, I think, the best, but the durability is probably better for terms of if you not if you want something that is between that. You can get these runes in the vendors here in World vs. War. You don't need to grind them anywhere else in the open, but this is why it is. It's giving you nice boost to your bone duration, some toughness, some vitality. It's really good and decent, all-round pick. If you need more DPS, you can go Scholar Runes. It's really good. If you want more crit, you can actually go Daredevil, I think is that, or Thief. Maybe somebody's gonna type it on that, what type of relic is that, but you got more critical strike chance. But this is how it is. Also, on the terms of relic, there are two options. I'm using the Chronomancer because everything on the terms of Scrapper is all gyros are well, so that means you're popping quickness every time for the 4.5 seconds when you're using your gyros, right? Same with the function gyro, I think. Or it's no gyro, it's not popping that. It's strange, but yeah, it's not well skill anymore. So maybe it wasn't, so I maybe saw it different time. I'm just swapping it, but it's working on these, so that's great. That's great. Actually, this is why you should be using that. Any other relics in the terms of options, you can go Daredevil. Daredevil are really solid choice in every build right now because the cooldown is 1 second and every time you're gonna dodge and it can stack. That's really good. It can stack. So that means if you do 3 dodges in a row, that means your 3 next attacks gonna crit every time. So that's good in the terms of that this build's got only 60% of critical hit chance. So if you go for the Fury uptime, and less of you will be sitting around the 80-85. So more crit chance mean more DPS. So this give you every time you're gonna dodge, it's gonna next hit's gonna be critical strike. It needs a little bit more practice in the term of that you need to get to your hands and to your memory that after the dodges I'm using the most hard hitting skills where I want, and this is the play. You need to kite a little bit around that, but it's still good and really OP in the terms of zergs, I think. But I don't mean actually in the zergs full coordination, voice, and so on. It's good only if you're going voiceless. So that means open tag somewhere on the map. They don't need voice to get in. They got one big squad, no sub squad, and so on. So this, in this terms, is really decent and really OP, I think. Otherwise, the Thief. So this is it. As the weapons, it's about to you if you're gonna play a bit more rifle or if you go hammer. I'm actually using the rifle for that. I've got the Sigil of Bloodlust there, so when I hit 25 stacks, I'm getting out of the combat and staying on the hammer. The hammer is must. Hammer is crazy good in the melees, in any zergs and so on. It's crazy hitting, and also you don't need rifle in the terms of that you want to play more safer from the range because you're still playing Mortar Kit and Flamethrower. So that means you are playing 2 kits. That's gonna make sure you are pretty far enough so you are safe and you can do a lot of stuff. On the terms of traits, in the traits you should be playing like this. This is how it is. Tools should be like this because this is giving you condition removing, resistance, and if you're using healing skill it's popping automatically, so it's really good. You remove the conditions every time you're popping any of your F1 to F4 skills. So that's really, really good. And also it's including your function gyro. So that's simple as that is really good. On the top of that, you're using Fire Shield. Why you're using Fire Shield? Because activating the activating the kit's giving you some stuff like some boons. It's not mainly here because you need the Fire Aura, or I think the Mortar giving you like, what was that? I think this is the last one. I think this is the other something drop chunk. It's something like this. It's gonna like pop around you like this field, or if you taking the like flamethrower, it's gonna give. It's here for the swiftness, because this build needs, any build in the terms of it needs some kind of cell swiftness. I don't mean in the zergs, but some classes that's gonna provide it permanently. But in the terms of like, you need to be really unselfish, and I don't want to say it bad, but let's say it like this: if you're playing in the zerg, you should be unselfish. You play as a team, but if you're playing any unorganized groups or stuff like that, you're roaming and so on, you need to be selfish as fuck, man. Sorry for the words, but you need to be selfish as fuck. You need to provide self-swiftness because nobody else probably cannot do it. You need to think about the things like it should not be there, and you need them provide them. That's it. If you need them, you need to provide them. Okay, I see this guy that's with me, it's providing swiftness. After that, I can swap something, but otherwise you still need to be like your own personal manager. That means I provide everything to myself and I don't care. Okay, this is it, how it should be on mine in the term of clouding, roaming, and so on. This is different type of like scheme you need to have in the terms of that. It's different than the zerg fights, than squad bombing, and so on. So this is it. The last stuff, you got strike DPS up on the 10%. When you have a vigor, you have vigor almost all the time. I actually don't know if it's... No, you don't have the vigor here. Yeah, you have it. Sorry, I forgot. I actually thought that is here, but it's here. Using the tool belt skills grant you the vigor, so you got like all the time 10% up, almost all the time when you're popping the skills like this. You got vigor. And the last thing, you got kinetic battery. So that means every time you're popping the F1 to F4 and so on skills, you're getting the kinetic battery, but it's the combat only, okay? So that means you're getting quickness after you're gonna reach them, also 5 seconds of your super speed. The kinetic battery also provides you another 10% of the DPS, so that's together, it's like 20% of DPS up here. So the tool is pretty OP right now at this moment. It's gonna provide you really high uptime on your DPS. The super speed can be like go in and go out, so you can use the kinetic battery as the offensive like approach to go in the fight, or if you need to like go away from the enemy, depends. So this is how it is. The explosives or the explosive line, this line actually getting the nerf a lot. So I was playing with the swapping over the firearms right now, because the firearms are pretty decent at this moment, but you can go like this. I will show you the Explorine, and after that I will show you the firearms that actually should be working also for you. So DPS here is pretty low right now. You got Fury when you hit the foe with the explosion. That's really good because it's like explosive entrance and giving you a hit, so you got Fury uptime. Explosion giving vulnerability, good. More vulnerability the target gets, more DPS you have it to them. I'm actually using this because it's firing additional rocket every time I'm popping the skill. Also, when you present 4 rockets, it's gonna be like orbital strike, so it's gonna help adding a lot of DPS to that, and it's also the explosion, so it's even something up in the terms of clouding. Otherwise, you can go the blast shield or you go like explosive temper. This is freely up to you, but I'm actually pretty like this. The sharpened charge, the shaped charge, it's actually increasing your DPS with any stack of the vulnerability. This is why it's like really hard, because almost every roaming, clouding, and every other build's applying a ton of vulnerability. So that means tools paired with the explosives, it's still OP because you give vulnerability, and on the vulnerability, you're increasing your DPS output. Simple. And the last stuff, another 10% DPS when you strike, and also small amount of healing, so some kind of like self-sustain if you're hitting the enemy. You can roll this out and go to the explosive entrance, if you're fully roaming, because it's gonna give you, like, if you use the explosive entrance, it's increasing your critical strike chance for 10 seconds, for 10 on 3 seconds, and giving you resistance. So that's really good also. So these two are both good. This is a little bit better in the terms of clothing. The Scrapper. I know a lot of you guys using this. It's actually not bad, because gaining the might while you have stability, your function general applies stability, so that means this provides stability. It's also good to have you have some amount of stability. But I rather go like this, because the wells are not also bigger, but they give the super speed, and sometimes you need not stability because that can be stripped, but you need to breakstone and super speed and go fucking out of the enemy line side. You need to get out of them somewhere else, out of their reach. Simple as that. So I kind of losing like this, and also in the fights it's gonna help your sub squad to be paired together. So you got like something like middle of that. You need something for you and something for the party. So this is something like balancing the whole stuff together. So super speed is more because you will be packed together a little bit better. So this is why I'm using like this trait here. On the end here, I'm using the object in the motion, because it's increasing your DPS, giving stability. Swiftness or super speed is increasing your DPS. So that's really good. And on the last of the stuff, I'm using the applied force, because gain stability when you get might at or above the threshold. Might grants boons power, so that means it's increasing your DPS, because the might's gonna give you more power. So this is really good, and you can easily get to the 10 stacks right now. So this is the simple and easiest way. If you want to go firearms, the firearms should be like best to use, because you're applying this. So it's best to use like this, and this, because the heavy metals after the rework is really hard hitting. So you can go like this. Depends what you're gonna like more. This is like more, like, I can say more opening and more spiking DPS, but this is more consistent DPS. So depends what you like a little bit more. I like a little bit more consistent DPS than the opening, because after that is lower. Okay, so this is how you should approach to that. Okay, on your skills, or let's go. I forgot one thing. I forgot to show and say something to the weapons. I'm using the Force and Hydromancy here, because every time I'm dropping out of the kits, it's also popping the Hydromancy. Remember that. If you popping out of the skills, the Hydromancy is gonna proc to, yeah, that's the cooldown. You need to match it with the cooldown. If you're doing like this, it's not infinitely spamming the Hydro, but actually it's gonna help you. So this is one boom Hydro, 9 seconds, I'm swapping mortar, boom Hydro. I'm getting out of the mortar, 9 seconds, boom hammer. So it's gonna give you another stuff, and meanwhile I have permanent 5% damage, flat line up. So this is it. On the terms of the skills, I'm using the medic gyro. Why? Because the super speed, the healing, the large radius around you, that's going to provide you and your allies pretty nice. Super speed is pretty decent, I think, and it's going to help you a lot. Also, the F1 skill from the gyro is pretty strong. It's another super speed, and it's protection, vigor, and also condition remove. So it's really good when you need to protection, because protection is generally right now, I think, most useful boon in the game, because it's lowering the DPS you're getting, because the most of the builds are not Condi but are the strike DPS, so it's reducing the DPS you're getting. Another stuff, I'm actually experimenting with this. I was using the Bulwark Gyro because it's 30 seconds cooldown reduction. It's giving you barrier, giving you super speed, synergizing with a lot of trails in the build, and mainly because it's giving you defense field. Defense field is really good, giving you stability, condition cleanse, blocks, and also it's giving you like something you can hide behind, right? Because if you like trying, I'm waiting for the CD right now, 15 seconds. If you want to spam your mortar kit from the really hard distance, because the mortar kit, if you look on that, no CD, like the flamethrower, it's like 1,500 or 1,500 yards that you can reach, and it's the 5, it's unblockable, and it's giving really hard DPS, even the 1. So actually, if I want to hit something, oh sorry, I need to swap this so we can see my fields. If I want to reach, I'm pretty far from the enemy. Like, if this will be my enemy, I'm pretty far from him. Pretty far. And hitting everybody there, Meanwhile, they cannot reach because not most, but I think like 90% of the builds cannot reach this far on me with any pulse or anything. They need to move. So if they are stationary, this is my spam skill number 1, okay? So I'm just spamming like crazy. Okay, they're trying to hit me. I'm put the shield between us, and I'm just hitting over the shield and hitting them. That's how it is. If I'm just popping the gyros and anything, I'm getting quickness, so I'm spamming either faster, right? Any gyro is giving that because you're playing the Relic of Chronomancer. So that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Also, you can use it as the DPS when you are far from the enemy and clouding around, or you can go a little bit closer and like use it when you need to create the downies still from the safe distance, right? So that's really, really good. Okay, after that, we got F3. That's I'm using the shredded gyro here. You actually don't need to use the shredded gyro. You can go like blast gyro. Blast gyro is really a little bit more OP right now because it's not like knocking back, but it stuns. So that means if you time it pretty good, you're going forward, and after you reach, it's gonna boom on you and giving stun on the enemies. It's really good opponent to enemies. It's also stacking you to the might and giving you another source of break stun and super speed. So that means you got another super speed for you and your allies, another super speed. Okay, so that's a lot of another break stun. This is the break stun with super speed. This is the break stun with the blind around you. So you got another break stuns here. So that's really good. You got 2 here. So that's really, really decent. Okay. Or you play a little bit more aggressive like me and you go shredded gyro because it's 20 seconds, super speed, tons of DPS, and on the top of that, if you place this inside of the enemy where you're pushing and after that start rotating, you got brutal bolts and that's hitting like crazy. Okay, so the combination is really, really hard. The flamethrower. I'm using the flamethrower for the like not mid fights, but when I'm like reaching the enemy to be more closer, some of the downies, because it's giving like over the 4 and 5, it's getting so high DPS, it's crazy. And you can still spam the F1, dodging and doing lots of stuff. And when the situation's getting like not good for me, I'm going like this to have stability and trying to get away from the enemy. Okay, so this is it. And after that, you can still use the number 3 as going in like this if you got target, or no target and get out of the enemy side. So that's really good. This is the stuff that I'm using actually. On the terms of weapon skills, number 2 is hitting like crazy on hammer. Number 3, if you want something like hitting. Number 4, projectiles. Hey, really good. And thunderclap is really good DPS and also stun. So the combo is really nice if you can combo it with the, like, you will be playing, for example, like this. So we will start with this. After you're reaching, boom, they stun, break stun, and they move somewhere, you go and then stun, and after that go fully in them. It's really good on the terms of melee, like combination of these strikes. And actually the engine, a lot of other classes got it too. The options you can use like go a bit more melee, a bit more rangy, and the situation is changing every second, every minute. So you need to play a bit more aggressive, after that bit more kiting, and this is about that. So you need to get into that, and after you get into that, it's really, really crazy. So also you can play like this, for example. Where do I have it? Like this. It's also an option. But I'm usually dropping this out and getting this here. Why the elixir here? Why? It's removing the condition, and a lot of builds where you are clouding around, mostly for the clouding right now. I'm using this mostly for the clouding, or where I don't have any cleanses around me. That's gonna help me, because a lot of builds around are, in the terms of the zerg, set on the immobilized effects, stuns, and this. You actually get out of the stuns pretty quick, but the immobilized effects are like the ones that's gonna kill you, because you're standing in the bomb. Simple. So this is gonna help you. Also, it's a break stun. It's 35 seconds. That's solid pick, I think. And it's refill your endurance fully. So that means 1 dodge, 2nd dodge, popping, boom, 1 dodge, 2nd dodge. So that's 4 dodges. That's really, really good. And top of that, the toss of the elixir here, it's reviving your allies. and also condition and stuff. So that means if you pair it together, because if you read closely the function gyro, it's like creating the field, blah 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 blah, then summons gyros to finish foes and revive allies within the field. So that means if you pop these together, like F2 and the 3 for me, that's the field that's actually reviving pretty quick any allies that are down it. So these two together are OP. If you pack them together, I'm giving you sure that if you like going maybe just a little bit to go FFF on somebody, like we say FFF, it's gonna definitely get them up. So really good, really decent pick. So this is my build. If you got any questions, I'm also live on streams and stuff. I'm mainly playing the Revenant, but I'm swapping between the different classes that I'm testing. So you can join or you can ask anything. Otherwise, if you want to join, remember to follow, remember to give a like here, and write under this video if you got any questions. Thank you that you were watching till this moment, and I'm really glad that I can do this. Like I was saying in the previous video, my English is slowly developing, so I understand that for some of you are really bad that the English that I'm talking, but I hope it's gonna be better and better with every other videos and stuff. So I hope you enjoy it. It's also some kind of like Chenglish, like we say, because I'm from Czechia, and I hope you will understand the stuff and the things that I'm trying to describe here. So it's gonna be like a little bit more easier for you to understand everything. And otherwise, if you got any problems with that, just hit it so I can retype the stuff or the thing that I was correctly mean in the part of the video. But again, thank you for joining me and see you next time. Have a nice day.